And now we are approaching Game 6. And by the way, shouts out to Chris Middleton, who dropped 26 in the game. And the Bucks right now, they are 10-0 when he shoots 40% or better. He definitely needs to come and bring his A game if they want to continue and get to the NBA Finals.
Well, Chris Middleton's a grown man with pride. So in the last game, he heard the people talking about how Cam Reddish was guarding him. People on Twitter were applauding Cam's defense. They were even calling Cam Reddish Camborghini. That was his nickname. They were calling him Camborghini Reddish. And so if you're Chris Middleton, he saw some of that. Athletes, they say they don't read the news or they don't listen to that stuff. You can't block all that stuff out. He heard some of that, and his pride kicked in, and he was like, okay, I'm going to make sure the young fella feels me tonight. As a matter of fact, everybody with a Hawks uniform is going to know what I'm about. Chris Middleton, along with Drew Holiday, they really set the table for what was to happen in the previous game.
Shouts out to Birdman. He said on that Breakfast Club interview, "Oh, you're gonna feel me," and that's what Chris Middleton said. And that's
all three of y'all.
Speaking of the Birdman, talking about the Hawks, we know that Trae Young is still questionable for Game 6. We know he tried to give it a go. If the Hawks don't have him in this next game, we saw what they were able to do without him in one game, and, they played lights out. Clint Capella hitting shots like Larry Bird. Can they match that effort and get a victory in Game 6 and force a Game 7?
Yes, they can. Even without Trae Young, I think the Hawks can get the win because they're playing at home. They'll be able to play off the crowd. Role players play better at home. You see how great Bobby Portis played at home, that energy. When you got 20,000 people yelling your name or just pumping you up, it does something to you, bro. I promise you. You might get a dunk and you might be wide open by yourself, but boy, you feel like you really did something, and it just brings you that energy where you're moving around on the court. So I think having home court advantage, along with some good veterans, guys like Lou Will and Gallinari that can score the ball, I think that the Hawks push this to a Game 7, and I think even without Trae Young, their role players step up.